Well, this is it. This is it. It's the final episode of Lit Sports Online.
Picks against the spread.
Picks against the spread, yeah. And I don't know really how to open other than to say it's the final episode. Coming off a nice win for the Rams over the Chiefs. Just going to plug that one out there. But I don't know, man. What do you have to say about this? It's been quite a journey of the pick show, and we're ending it on this.
Yeah, I mean, the pick show is where it began. I mean, what, two and a half years? We started this just doing picks for sports, and we have multiple shows now and more sports shows than I think I ever predicted we would have. And that's the main reason why we are calling it quits, at least in the format that we're using it now. We will be starting a new sports show that will be starting next week. Hopefully everything works out. But yeah, also most importantly, major plug, this is LitTube.com is now a thing. Link will be down below. We will be posting videos there. And we will also be posting a vast array of articles. But yeah, a lot of changes at LitTube, man. It started with us, it ends with us.
A lot of changes, but in the good direction. I mean, we want to keep the channel focused on substance, talking about some hot topics. Mm-hmm. As far as the spreads, like you said, we're done with this format. We may post some things on the website, so keep looking at that. But let's get into this final episode of picks.
Let's do it. First up, Thanksgiving is this week. First game, a 12:30 game for Thanksgiving. Chicago takes on Detroit. Detroit is plus 3.5 at home.
I'm gonna go with Detroit plus 3.5 just because Trubisky is questionable injury. If he plays, he's got a little shoulder problem going on. I think that's enough to swing it in the favor of the Lions, especially with the plus 3.5. I'm
gonna put some good juju in it and go with Chicago because I need Mitch for my fantasy team. I mean, virtually my season's done, but hey. Might as well keep going.
Got to play for pride.
Hey, Marlin beat me. Yeah, I lost to Marlin. I fucking hate this season. Next up, 4:30. Another Thanksgiving game, and a very important game nonetheless. Washington travels to Dallas, minus Alex Smith, who is out with a terrible leg injury, which we will talk about in third and goal this week. Washington versus Dallas. Dallas at home, -7.5. Colt McCoy is their starting quarterback. Sam Bradford's their backup. What are your thoughts?
I don't like the Redskins' chances in this one because of that injury. I'm gonna say Dallas -7.5. The spread is wide enough it makes you think twice, but I'm still gonna say Dallas at home here, given the quarterback injury.
Very wide spread, and you'd be a dumbass almost to pick the Redskins. But you make a good point. It is a wide spread, given it is a rivalry game. But with the quarterback situation, if Alex Smith was there, this would be in no question a win for the Redskins, in my opinion. But without him, I think their season's done. That's just my opinion. But like I said, we'll talk about that in a moment. Next up, Atlanta travels to New Orleans in our late night Thursday game, 8:20. New Orleans, -13 at home. No question, no surprise there.
Is like Matty Ice injured or something? I mean, why is it a plus 13 for Atlanta?
Well, they lost to the Browns. Who else did they lose to? They lost to somebody else that they shouldn't have. I mean, the Falcons just aren't the Falcons that they were.
But I think they can maybe come back for one game and cover a spread. So I'm going to go Falcons plus 13.
I'm going with the Saints. I mean, there's no stopping the Saints outside of maybe your Rams, honestly.
Hey, we couldn't even beat them.
Like I said, you're probably going to get a second chance. Don't worry about it. Next up, first Sunday game, Cleveland travels to Cincinnati. AFC North matchup here. Cincinnati, -3 at home after a loss to my Ravens.
Yeah, I'm actually going to have some balls here and pick Cleveland. I'm going to say Cleveland plus 3. I just got a feeling Baker Mayfield's going to have a really great game here. He's coming off a good one, so let's see what happens.
Yep, I'm going with Cleveland as well. Never thought I'd say it. Next up, Seattle travels to Carolina. Carolina is -3.5 at home.
You know what? I'm actually going to pick the Seahawks here plus 3.5.
I'll split the difference and pick Carolina. They're at home. See what happens. Next up, Jacksonville travels to Buffalo. Buffalo is plus 3.
I'm going to take Jacksonville -3 here.
And next up, the game I'll be watching, Oakland travels.
Wait. You got a pick for that one?
Oh, shit, my bad. See, we're already done. My mind's already away from the show. I'm going Jacksonville. They should have beat the Steelers. I don't know how they didn't beat the Steelers. So I think they'll get a win at least this week. Next up, Oakland, the game I'll be watching, travels to Baltimore, home game. Baltimore is negative 10.5 at home. Wow, that's a wide spread.
It is, but I'm still going to go with Baltimore minus 10.5 because I think the Raiders are just one of those teams that we're talking about a bottom-of-the-barrel NFL team here, and they're coming into a hostile environment. I could see a situation where they give up a couple defensive touchdowns and the game's just over.
Yeah, I definitely agree. I think the defense is going to eat. I think the defense is probably going to be the superstar this week compared to the running game of this week, the past week for the Ravens. So I'm going with Baltimore. Next up, San Francisco travels to Tampa Bay to take on the Buccaneers, who are negative 3.5 at home.
Yeah, this is... So here's an interesting fun fact about this game. We're hearing that Jameis Winston's going to start again. It's like they can't make up their mind who the quarterback is. Yeah, I'm going to go with Tampa Bay just because they're at home. But, I mean, I don't like how they keep mixing up who their quarterback is every other game.
Yeah, that's not creating good chemistry, honestly, in my opinion. So I'm going to have to go with San Francisco, honestly. I think that's going to create a problem in the long run. I could definitely see this being a game where Jameis gets benched and Fitzmagic comes out there. But I'm just going to go with San Francisco for just the fact that they're a little bit more stable of a team, though they're really not. Next up, the Giants travel to Philly to take on the Eagles. Eagles at home, negative 6.
I'll take Philly at home minus 6. There's not a whole lot to like about the Giants this year, to be honest.
Yeah, give me Philly all day. Next up, New England travels to New York to take on the Jets at home. The last game was the Giants, so yeah. They take on the Jets at home. Jets are plus 9.5 at home. This should be very easy.
Yeah, it should be. I'm going to go with the Jets plus 9.5.
What?
Division rivalry, they're at home. I don't think they lose by that many points.
I'm going with the Patriots, man. I just don't. I mean, yes, divisional rivalry, but I just don't see the Jets really putting up that much of a fight this week.
I guess it's going to be on their defense to try and make some stops.
If you can stop Tom Brady, good on you. Next up, Arizona travels to L.A. to take on the Chargers, who are plus 12 at home. Wow.
Yeah, so I'm going to go Chargers minus 12 on this one.
I'm going to go with Arizona. Just throw a bone into the win, see what happens. I don't know.
I guess it's not any more crazy than picking the Jets over the Patriots. So.
No, not at all. It's actually the exact opposite of what happened, just on different coasts. Next up, Miami travels to Indy to take on the Colts, who are negative 9 at home and have looked great the past few weeks.
Yeah, I'll go with the Indy minus 9.
Going with Indy. That's how we do. Next up, Pittsburgh travels to the Mile High Stadium to take on Denver, who is plus 3 at home.
I'm going to put my faith in the Denver Broncos at the plus 3 at home here. They have a nice defense, obviously, and I think that the Pittsburgh defense, they've been shaky this year, so maybe Denver can pull this out.
Yeah, I'm looking to see an upset here. I mean, we saw the Steelers get exposed last week against the Jags. I think teams are watching. I think Pittsburgh is a beatable team. They're one of the better teams in the NFL, but they're definitely more one of the beatable teams, honestly. So I'm going to go with Denver. Yeah, Jimmy, suck it. It's not here due to illness. Get better, buddy. See you next week. Green Bay next up travels to Minnesota to take on the Vikings, who are negative 3.5 at home.
I'm going to take the Vikings minus 3.5.
Yeah, Sunday Night Football, though, man. I don't know. I mean, this is a very close one. I think I'm going to go with Green Bay. I'm going to trust in Aaron Rodgers to see what happens. Next up, Monday Night Football. Tennessee travels to Houston to take on the Texans. It is a straight pick 'em. There is no spread at the moment. Who you got?
Well, and if it stays that way, I think you got to go Houston. I mean, it's an easy pick, especially since Mariota's got a questionable injury. I mean, honestly, if the spreads are out right now and it's close, you got to take Houston here, no question.
Yeah, this is a no-brainer, honestly. Yes, Tennessee beat the Patriots, but that was one win. Houston has been consistent all year.
Yeah, and then look what happened the game after they got completely shit on.
Exactly. So yeah, we're gonna go with Houston, and that's a wrap.
So that's it. Final episode of Picks.
Curtain call. this is really sad. I don't know. I really like, changes come, changes go. But no, we're excited for what's to come. Like I said, we have a new website out now where you can watch our videos, where you may be watching this video right now. This is LitTube.com. And yeah, stay tuned for what's next to come. Take care.